hearing about big data for years now, but not necessarily in finance. It's just even whenever I talk to my friends in tech, it's like the big buzzword. I mean, in itself, it's big data. But now I have a clear understanding of what it really is. Okay, thank you for that. And the thing that I want to, first thing that I want to know is that, yeah, so much big data is that you can use this to like analyze trends, predict trends. But do you see it as like using the data, like creating algorithms or creating like something like that to actually make clear buy and sell decisions? Like programming something to make clear buy and sell decisions?
Yeah, so, so one thing I want to clarify about Thomson Reuters at least is, unlike brokerage houses, we don't tell people what to buy, what to sell. Right? You'll never see a product that says buy this, sell that. But we provide data which will empower our customers to make those buy and sell decisions. So the interactive map example I showed you a while ago, right? So I forgot to tell you guys that we're actually using an algorithm which was built by NATO. And they made it open source. And we picked it up and we incorporated it with everything else we do. And then you see that picture, it talks about how something's going to get delivered. And there are different things. It's forecast, it's prediction. And like I said, people want to capitalize on the opportunity before the opportunity is lost. Right? And that's why being able to predict or even forecast something with a reasonable degree of confidence gives that edge to our clients.
I see. So actually, yeah, that chart a while ago that you saw, it was impressive and at the same time it's kind of creepy.
That is my party trick when I go out.
And then, question from the audience, from Ben Frieder. So how does one exactly get into this data science field, or how does one become a data scientist, I guess? That's what this was.
I saw that coming. I was pretty sure somebody's going to ask about data scientists. So, like I mentioned in my slide, right, so the data scientist is a three-functional role. It's not, at this point, it's not enough to have just the knowledge of the data, knowledge of the business, the clients, and how they're going to use that data. The challenge is also about the volume and variety. You need a programmer to help you get all that data in a place where it can start working together. And you need somebody who's good with mathematics, who understands numbers, can build algorithms, to actually build something out of that to help define trends. And the business analyst, of course, is the guy who understands the data, and he's going to be able to look at the output and then sort of give that slight edge to our clients. Tell them, you know, if I'm a client, here's how I'm going to see it. Right? We were able to produce all the ETAs and the forecast supply demand. But there was this business analyst who said, you know what, as a commodity trader, I'd like to see an interactive model. Right? So it's all these functions, right? But that landscape is fast changing. My team traditionally is comprised of business analysts. But now, given the change in this trend, there are more and more folks in my team going back to their classroom. They want to learn C++, they want to learn Java, they want to learn Docker, so they can play more of these roles. You know? So, yeah, but you can actually know the business and still be part of the data science team, which is my first.
So, we're looking at the audience, and most of them are like graduating students. So, if ever they want to enter into this industry, what do you think would be the day-to-day tasks? Like how are they going to start off? What's the progression of life? How is it going to be?
So, you know, nothing comes easy in life, let me tell you that. It's taken me 11 years to get to a point where I can talk about big data. So that's one thing I really want to be clear about. Because I read a lot about millennials, and I had such expectations. My father used to tell me that I have high expectations in life, and now I look at, you know, I'm like, everybody has high expectations, and there's nothing wrong with that. But all I would recommend is you start at the ground level. You don't get to a point where you start building algorithms, start talking to investment bankers and wealth managers until and unless you understand the nuts and bolts of what makes that solution that takes for an investment banker or a wealth manager. You need to understand the data, right? So if you join any of these financial industries, you probably start at the lower levels, trying to understand the content, trying to understand the business, your clients, until you get to a point where you become an expert and you can actually tell them, here's how I think we can add value. So on a day-to-day basis, it will be more about procurement of data, curating the data, delivering the data, working with some of the experts in coming up with models like this. But that comes a slightly later. So I really think most people would start with the nuts and bolts.
And for you, now that you have come so far, 11 years of experience, you're leading a team, and from what I know, you're leading a team of a lot of people spread across the globe, like in 4 different locations, right? So, what do you think are, like, I'm sure it's not easy to challenge a team that is like, you're all located in different cities. So, can you describe more or less how difficult it is to manage a team and what are the advantages you see?
So, I don't have a big team. I have sorry, no problem. I have 9-member team only, but these are experts. There are folks in my team who have 25 years in the industry, right? And they're based in 4 different locations, like you said. Now, talking a little bit about, the challenges and advantages. Let's start with challenges. There aren't too many, to be honest, in this digital age. Nothing is really a big challenge. But I'm a person who really likes collaboration and brainstorming. And even though the technology has advanced so much, but brainstorming is best happening when you're face to face. Right? So I lose that advantage sometimes when I'm speaking to somebody in New York and that person's on the phone and I'm like, I want to draw something for you, and they're like, yeah, why don't you send me a PPT instead? No, I want to show you how to picture it in my head. Sometimes we struggle with that, but I'm sure the technology is improving so fast, in the future that wouldn't be a problem either. Talking about advantages, I get to travel a little bit.
How often?
Not much. Telepresence is here, and thanks to technology, I stay grounded. So, on a more serious note about advantages, right? There's a lot of advantages of having a global team. Risk management is very important, guys. Anybody and everybody, any business risk management is important. For me, what that means is I can support critical processes 24/5. What that means is I can have business continuity. So when Manila shuts down because of a typhoon or Bangalore shuts down because the neighborhood went on strike, I have somebody else pick up the business. I don't have my stakeholders coming and saying, we're not doing this, right? And the final advantage, of course, is cultural diversity. Let's not ignore that. People bring so many different perspectives. It's really critical to have different points of views when you brainstorm these issues.
Especially the data that we're providing is like global, but so it really is important to have that inputs from different cultures, I guess. And I guess that's all the time that we have for now. And what's next? I think I can hear people from